Life has ups and downs. As that saying goes, you never know what's going to happen in life. Bad things happen one after another, and there are plenty of hard times. But life can change so quickly over something so trivial. My name is Luke Smith. Just an ordinary office worker. I commute by train every day. But I was feeling nothing but melancholic. That's because my company is a small branch office with the headquarters in the prime area of downtown New York. And from today, a newcomer from the headquarters is moving to my place of work. This person is known to cause a lot of problems at the headquarters, but he is a relative of the CEO and cannot be fired, so he was reluctantly transferred, effectively demoted to our branch. It would make anyone feel down to hear that such a problem child will be assigned to my department. I have experience as a team leader, but it's really hard to work when there's someone who disrupts the flow. I just hope he's not on the same team as mine. With that thought, I am on a crowded train today as well. Well, it's better than being packed like a can of sardines, I guess. While thinking this, I had glanced several times at the crowd of people who, like me, were using the train, when suddenly, a certain woman caught my eye. Long, light brown hair and slightly heavy makeup. Wearing a cute checked miniskirt. Maybe she's a college student. She seemed to be a young woman. However, the hem of her miniskirt got caught on a large bear keychain on her back. And, you could see quite a lot. In other words, the skirt was no longer fulfilling its role, and the pink thing with a bear, like the keychain, was visible. She must really love bears. No, that's obviously bad. As expected, several passengers noticed, but no one could speak up. That's understandable. After all, most of the passengers are men. There are women, but not many around her, or if they are too absorbed in their cell phones or books at hand to notice. It would take a lot of courage to suddenly tell a woman you don't know that her skirt is up. Oh boy, isn't this bad? As I looked around, sure enough. Hey, isn't that situation kinda wild? Two boys, about high school age, are grinning at her. She herself is engrossed in her cell phone and unaware. And high school boys, who are in a sensitive time of their life and are still learning the norms, often make mistakes. One of the boys was pointing his cell phone towards her, and I thought this was something I could not ignore. But if I confront the high school boys, I might attract unnecessary attention. I wanted to resolve the situation peacefully, so I quickly took off the jacket I was wearing and draped it over her shoulders. I am taller, so it just about covers the important parts. The woman was surprised and said, "What? Who?" It's a natural reaction to be startled by a stranger suddenly draping a jacket over you. When I quietly pointed out to her in a whisper, "Your skirt is up. I thought it would be hard for you to fix it here." She finally grasped the situation and her face turned red. "Oh my, that's embarrassing. I'll fix it at the next station." "Wait. How much did you see?" She was in a panic like this. Thinking this was not good, I got off the train at the next station with her. She seemed to feel awkward, and I wanted my jacket back, so I had no choice. "Wow, I really appreciate it. You're super handsome. I want to thank you. Can you give me your contact info?" I had thought so when I saw her miniskirt, but this woman was rather flighty, or rather, a bit of a party girl. She came on strong, and while I was surprised, I had a meeting this morning, and when I looked at the clock, I was definitely late. I needed to get to work ASAP, so I handed her my business card and said, "Here, this is my business card. Contact me there if you need anything, and don't worry about thanking me," and hopped onto the express train that had just arrived at the station. I finally headed to work, but as expected, I was late for the meeting. Even though I had notified them in advance, I was called into the conference room by the manager. "Luke, it's fine that you helped someone and were late. but bringing the wrong documents to a meeting is not okay. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I was late, and in my rush, I mistakenly grabbed the wrong documents and, as a result, ended up embarrassing myself in the meeting. I was glad I was the only one who was embarrassed, but as one would expect, restless behavior is not good for a member of society. As I was apologizing to my department manager, the manager said, "Well, what's done is done. Make sure it doesn't happen next time. Now, on to the real issue at hand." Saying that, my manager handed me a piece of paper. He's a kind man, and it's rare for him to call me into his office like this. Which means something significant must have happened. I accepted the paper he gave me and began to read. What's this? "I'm really sorry about this. Starting today, I want you to train the new recruit," said my manager with an apologetic look on his face. Whoa. Are you serious? The new recruit is the CEO's relative who couldn't be managed at the headquarters, and I'm supposed to guide him. Why me? I asked. Well, the thing is, the headquarters specifically requested you today, he explained. What? I cried out, almost in a scream. I rarely go to the headquarters, and I haven't done anything noteworthy for the human resources at headquarters to remember my name. Despite having no achievements, why was I selected? As I was panicking over this baffling situation. Bang! Suddenly, the conference room door swung open, and an agitated subordinate of the department manager rushed in. "Sir, we've got a serious problem," he exclaimed. "What's going on?" "I'm in a meeting with Luke right now," replied the manager. "It's about the new recruit. The CEO of the headquarters wants to see you and Luke." What? This time it was the manager who cried out in surprise, while I was still trying to digest what was happening. What did he just say? I knew the new recruit was coming, but the CEO as well. What on earth is happening? The manager and I exchanged glances and hurried out of the conference room, heading for the reception room, knowing we couldn't keep the CEO waiting. And there we saw. "Hey, it's you from earlier." "Hi there," she greeted. It was the woman I'd helped on the train. And she was sitting next to the CEO. "Oh, please, give me a break. What the heck is going on here?" I was nearly in panic mode and decided to get my head out of the clouds here. As it turned out, the woman I helped today, whose name is Anna Ashton, is the CEO's daughter. But apparently she's been rather wild and has had difficulty sticking with any company she's joined. She still hasn't shaken off those bad habits, making it difficult for her to hold down a job anywhere. The CEO had hired her as an assistant, but he received criticism internally for being too lenient with his family member. So, the CEO decided to transfer her to a branch office as part of her real-world experience. "I heard you helped my daughter on the train today. As a father, I thank you," the CEO said, bowing his head to me. This made me break out in a cold sweat for a whole different reason, but then I also learned why I had been chosen. When I handed Anna my business card, she realized we were from the same company, but she couldn't stop me because I was in a hurry. So she took a picture of the card and sent it to the CEO. And after checking with HR, they assumed that I, as a team leader, have some experience with employee development, so they entrusted their daughter to me. In other words, my act of kindness has led to this unexpected situation. The CEO likely wants me to cultivate his daughter and thus earn a promotion in the future, but from my perspective, I've just been saddled with a difficult new recruit. What should I do? But I had no choice. "Nice to meet you, Lukey," and it cheerfully greeted me with absolutely no trace of professionalism, leaving me no choice but to hang my head. And that's when my unbelievably busy days began. Even the manager seemed to realize that this was going to be a tall order and told me to focus on training Anna for a while, handing off non-urgent tasks to others. Thanks to that, I was supposed to have some time. Well, that didn't happen. Anna, what on earth are you doing? What do you mean? I'm just hungry. Anna was snacking on a piece of chocolate while watching the training video, and I just had to sigh at the sight. If she's hungry, that's fine, but she could at least do it out of sight. Is she that clueless? But it wasn't that. Anna may not have great social skills, but she's not stupid. As proof, she managed to remember how to do simple tasks after being shown just once. Oh, hey, Lukey, the additional data came in, so I finished inputting it. What, already? You're quick. Yes, she is incredibly efficient at her work. She does more than she's asked to and rarely makes mistakes. With this level of work, she could easily get by at our head office, but her other problematic behaviors completely overshadow it. It's such a waste, and despite my numerous warnings, she only slightly improves and eventually reverts back to her old habits. She still calls me Lukey. After 2 months of training her, I was reaching my breaking point. However, I resolved to do my best to make her a competent worker, and it was on that day. Heck, what should I do? Lukey's troubled. While I was thinking in the break room, Anna suddenly popped up. It's been 3 months since we started working together. By now, she's capable enough to do her job alone. I mean, she still exhibits problematic behaviors, so I have to keep an eye on her. But it's break time, so I won't nag her. Oh, nothing. Just some personal stuff. Even Lukey has worries. What do you think I am? My mom's birthday is coming up. I'm not sure what to get her. Yes, my mom's birthday is just around the corner. But I'm out of ideas, and being single, I'm clueless about women's tastes. When I said that, Anna tilted her head and asked, "Are you close to your mom?" I guess so. She's always been the caring type. How so? What do you mean? Well, even when she was incredibly busy, she always made sure to pack my lunch. My dad was away on business a lot, so my mom took care of everything at home. After I started living alone and learned how hard housework is, I realized how great my mother was. So, I'd like to celebrate her birthday somehow, but I'm having a hard time picking a present. Oh, I know. I should ask Anna. She seems to know more about women's preferences and current trends. Just as I was about to ask her, I fell silent. The usually overly cheerful Anna looked incredibly down. Anna, what's wrong? Oh, sorry, I don't have a mom. That's why I'm envious of your problem. Anna said that and forced a smile. But her fake smile quickly faded, and she looked down, appearing dejected again. I was taken aback by the sight of Anna I'd never seen before. She looked so lonely, I couldn't leave her alone. You don't have to force yourself to smile. Sometimes, Anna, you really force yourself to smile. It's okay to talk about your problems. After all, I'm your trainer. That's right. Anna hardly ever shares her concerns. Even with work, she doesn't voice her worries. I was worried that she might be overdoing it. As she widened her eyes in surprise, Anna said, "You're the first person to say that to me," and began to tell me a story. It was a story about Anna's past. You know, my mom passed away in an accident when I was little. After that, my dad just lost himself in his work, leaving me in the care of a maid. Anna shared, her gaze drifting off into the distance. I was basically raised by the maid. I'm grateful to her, I really am. But then again, she was paid to take care of me, right? So, I can't help but wonder if there's really such a thing as unconditional love. Well, I guess it doesn't matter now that I'm all grown up, she said, laughing it off. Watching her, an idea began to form in my mind. Maybe Anna had grown up lacking affection. Her father, the CEO, understood that, which was why he couldn't bear to leave Anna alone and kept her in the company. Upon reaching that conclusion, her actions began to make more sense. Anna's problematic behavior is actually only to those close to her in the company. She often arrived late but would always be early when there was a business deal. She was quiet around people from other departments but often played around with me and those she was close to. I wondered, was this her way of interacting? Causing trouble to get her busy father's attention? Could it be that she grew up without realizing it was wrong? That's why scolding her wouldn't fix her behavior. It wasn't that she didn't want to change, but rather, she might not know any other way to interact. Anna, I started, you're talented. It's about time you quit these problematic behaviors. Haha, you're persistent, Lukey. I've been a little better lately, haven't I? Don't evade the topic. Keep this up, and someday you'll be abandoned. Abandoned? That's strange. No one's watching me, so there's nothing to abandon. Suddenly, Anna retorted with a serious look. With a dull voice, as if she had given up on something. I guess this was the real her. True self isn't noticed by anyone. She seems to believe that. I was a bit surprised by this unusual side of Anna, but I couldn't back down. She was wrong. I'll show you that you're wrong. Follow me, I declared, grabbing Anna's arm and leading her to a certain place. Anna, although surprised, obediently followed. This is the place I brought her to. The office floor we always worked on. Everyone was on break, chatting among themselves. I quietly opened the door just a little, showing Anna the scene inside. Wow, did Anna make this document? She was so good that she could have made it at headquarters if she hadn't had those problems. I know, right? What a waste. There, everyone was praising Anna. And these were people Anna wasn't particularly close with. No way, why? Anna's eyes widened as she watched the scene unfold. That's how it goes, right? They are not the ones she's trying to get her attention from. But they're watching her work. You understand, right? We're seeing you, so you don't need to stress about getting noticed anymore. There are people who notice you, Anna, without you having to try, and I'm one of them. I say this as I gently stroke the head of Anna, who quietly sheds tears. From that day forward, Anna's problematic behavior dramatically reduced. She's serious about her work now, and she's always on time. That's all well and good. Great changes indeed. But there's one slightly tricky part. Luke, today's the day. You're going to be my boyfriend. Somehow, I ended up in a wild situation where Anna confesses her love to me every single day. It seems after our talk, Anna came to trust me a lot and she started to consult me about various things. As a result, she became very attached to me, and now she confesses her love to me every day. However, I had to turn her down. She's young, and there are plenty of great guys out there for her. But it seems she just can't give up. For the last 2 weeks, I've been on the receiving end of her constant advances. When faced with such intense appeals, my feelings to her was changing. Okay, let's go out. I think I've fallen for you, Anna. Today's the day I'll become your girlfriend. That's what I said. It's okay. At what? Anna responds with a bright red face. It seems she wasn't expecting to get the okay. But next thing I knew, she was crying buckets and hugging me tight, saying I did it. I'll work hard. I'll become a woman worthy of you, Luke. Stay with me forever. Whoa, okay. This is our workplace. And that's how we started dating. But there are many difficulties between us. There is some bad friction between Anna and her father. No, he's a father who thanks me for helping his daughter, so there must be some misunderstanding. First, I went to Anna's house with her to clear up this misunderstanding. Of course, the CEO gave me a very disapproving look. He entrusted me with his daughter, and here I was getting involved with her. The one most surprised by this reaction was Anna. She thought her father didn't care about her. And this is where the real trouble started. Her father showing concern for her was nice and all, but he was opposed to our marriage. They had a huge fight, but it seemed like it helped them vent their pent-up frustrations. "You're always working and neglecting me. Don't act like a father now. I am your father. I've been worried about you." "Well, it's too late to worry now, silly." They argued and argued, but finally had a heart-to-heart talk. The CEO, my father-in-law, was confused about how to deal with his grown-up daughter, and in his fear of hurting her, he distanced himself from her. This only led to him losing his ability to communicate with her, and he had his own set of worries. Anna realized she was causing her father distress, and that she was loved. Finally, the two of them made peace. Of course, our marriage was approved, and next we went to greet my parents. Anna, who never had a mother, was very nervous, but my mom had already heard about the situation and said, "I'm happy to become your mother." Anna was so moved by this that she started crying. On top of that, my mom treated us to dinner, which moved Anna so much that she said, "I want to cook this too," and asked my mom to teach her how to cook. Now they're the best of friends. With both families' approval, we happily got married, and now we're a blessed family with 3 kids. My father-in-law is so smitten with his grandchild. His stern face that I've seen at work is nowhere to be found. Anna was surprised to see a side of my father-in-law that she had never seen before, but she said, "It feels like we've finally become a family. I'm so happy. I guess that's a good thing." We couldn't have a wedding because of Anna's pregnancy, but I'd like to see her in a wedding dress someday. With those thoughts, we continue to live happily each day. How did you find today's story? By clicking the subscribe and like button, it will be an encouragement for my content creation. I look forward to hearing from all of you in the comments. See you in the next video.